What's going on, y'all? It's Jason Reviews here, back at it again with another video, following up a really historic night in battle rap. Obviously, I bring to you, as you can see by the title, recap of the Chrome 23 anniversary card and our top 3 most impressive performers, top 3 most disappointing performers type of format. Humongous event. King of the Dot, Stay Forever also went down yesterday. Crazy day one. Day two is today. Just for the sake of getting all of that together, I'm going to be doing top 5 performers only. No disappointing. It's a card that just we don't even need to be looking at disappointing performances. But we're going to look at some of the standouts for that, and that recap will be up Monday. So for my King of the Dot people, just to order it out, make sure I got all that. Still got to type a couple articles for that, you know what I'm saying? Keep an eye on Let's Talk Battle Rap for our recap articles that'll be coming out soon for all events from this weekend. So yeah, just tons and tons of work on the way, but just letting you guys know early, the King of the Dot recap Monday. With that being said, we are doing the Chrome recap right now. Crazy event. Knew it was going to be a crazy event going in. One thing I want to address before anything is obviously the pay-per-view. The stream dropped later, specifically in the middle of Hitman versus Easy. At that point in time, also on Rap Grid, King of the Dot crashed. So it wasn't just Chrome. I see people, Chrome, every time Chrome does this. Rap Grid as a whole crashed, and I believe it was Hollow and Sharon were battling, and it just pulled out Jin and Ilmac for the surprise battle, so I'm sure those servers were fighting. I'm sure they were fighting, you know what I'm saying, with everything they had, but sometimes everything you have just isn't enough. So I'm not 100% sure, but with that type of traffic, things like that happen. I know that once again, then it dropped again, I think, during Hustle and Shuni. Really unfortunate that they didn't land the plane of the event, perfectly with the stream, but I think up until that point, we had crazy battles, good production, and overall a great night of battle rap. Plenty of humongous things to talk about. And without further ado, let's start out on the half that people don't like, but the top 3 most disappointing performers from the Chrome event. And actually, I lied. We are going to get in the top 3 most disappointing, but first of all, I want to go over a battle where neither participant made my top 3 most impressive or top 3 most disappointing, but obviously, like everything else in the card, was still a good battle, and that was the battle between Official and Prestavia. Heavyweight punching matchup, kind of that mirror match. Many people saw it as a possible passing of the torch moment. Me, along with many others, though, did predict 0-2-1, kind of better for the situation, a little more seasoned. And Prestavia, in a way, I would say shocked. I think that she had the bounce back that some of us doubted, but I also can't say I'm too shocked at seeing her be great on that stage. I said multiple times in her early come up, although she's still in her come up, but I do see her as a generational talent. If she can really put it all together consistently, she will be one of the best women in the world. And last night is the type of performance to show you that. I think the first round is debatable. I think that Official kind of had higher peaks. I kind of preferred her top haymakers to Prestavia's top haymakers in the first, but she had clearly more dry spots where Prestavia, even in her middle spaces, is kind of jabbing a little bit more and always landing a somewhat consistent amount of material. So for that, I do believe the first is debatable. I can't lie to you. I'm sure in the building, and it looked like a 30, you know what I'm saying, by the way the crowd was reacting, because then Prestavia goes on to have an insane second round of the battle. The quadruple entendre scheme that she did, not unrealistically good. Overall, she was just bombing on O in the second. So it's a debatable first, but O's got more dry spots. And then in the second, she gets kind of washed. So I can clearly see, how people have it so clear. But I will be honest, I think the third is pretty close too. They both go angle on the angle heavier side in the third. Obviously, Official brings the bags and bodies, you know what I'm saying? Sleeping around the house angle, which I'm not really sure if it's true. She executed it well, but definitely felt a little crazy, even with some of the good bars out of it. And then Prestavia obviously retorts with her own version of the angle of angling. And a first bar that I want to, a bar of the first round from Official is that I don't need gun titles to kill bitches. That was crazy. One of the haymakers I'm talking about, but quickly wanted to go over it. I do have Prestavia edging the first round. Actually, reverse that. I have Official edging the first round, Prestavia winning the second clear, Prestavia edging the third. I do think the first and the third are close, kind of making the battle debatable, but I do understand why this is probably going to go down as a full-on consensus Prestavia win. Hell, I got Prestavia winning. I just don't have it as like a clear or 30 or anything of that nature, but I could see where people saw that at. But as good as Prestavia was, just think there was some better performers, and I think Official was decent. Don't think there's any need for it to be on the disappointing list. And now that we've covered that battle, we can now go into the top 3 most disappointing performers. So to kick off the top 3 most disappointing, someone who was just in my last top 3 most disappointing recap list, definitely taken 2 tough losses back to back, but at 3, I do have Caution. Just a tough situation for her coming in anyways. I think coming off of such a big loss to QB, she was already going to be an underdog to C3. Then she lost to another vet who hasn't been good. And now you get a legend in C3 who's still rapping at a high level and extremely motivated for this battle at that. Just a tough situation where it just really played out how a lot of us thought. And I think that she suffered from a lot of the same mistakes that just she suffered from in her QB battle. The round just felt so concise and kind of not as short as the QB battle, but still on the shorter side. Pacing was a little bit off. I feel like she has good bars. You look at her first, the Marvin Sapp bar, good. The car breakdown, fake friend bar, good. But you pick out those 2 to 3 bars, and the middle is either just good jabs or, dare I say, just dry spots, as opposed to C3 comes right out with a rebuttal in the first that lands, gets to the little Uzi bar that was good, and then by the time she gets to the 757, I'm gonna let it fly. She's already won that round. Then they couldn't kill me, neither could I. Washes the first, and that just continues really through the second and the third. And it's not that Caution is bad. Her second's her best round. The Cordell Stewart bar good, K Swiss bar good. The C3 terminal, like, there's good stuff, and then C3 comes back with the sexual gun attachment, like your sexual preference. It's got to switch crazy. The freestyling off the crowd, so she just be looking more comfortable. The BMF, the PP haymakers, even some comedy bars about how Caution raps. It's just a complete outclassment. I think Caution's great, but at the end of the day, she's walking into these top tier matchups, and there's levels being shown. We're gonna talk about C3. You know what I'm saying? We get to the other half of the list, but have to mention Caution at the 3 spot. At the number 2 spot, someone else that I'm disappointed to see up here. Wanted something great for them, but coming into this battle, I kind of saw something like this could happen. And at number 2, have to talk about Shuni the rapper. Really, really unfortunate, because even in this battle, when Shuni gets her material out, man, extremely creatively crafted lines. I think that, like, she writes just a little bit more creative, and she writes great material. But the consistency in performance, the chokes, just kind of the story of how these things go for Shuni in big moments. Hustle is not going to make the top 3 most impressive list. Not that Hustle wasn't impressive. There's 3 other performances I think were crazy, meant a little more. But you got to talk about how great Hustle has been. I mean, to start 2023, potentially 30 in my verse. I know the second I heard can go either way, but that she had clearly won that, waiting for that to drop. Then goes on and now catches a 30 on Shuni. And she's got Tay-Rock on the way, man. So keep an eye out on what Hustle is doing over a decade plus of the game, still battling at one of the highest levels for any top-tier women, the embodiment of a legend, and really, even for some of her behavior and how people kind of consider her a villain, she could be hostile. There's no taking away from what she's actually doing in the ring. And as for Shuni, still love her, still think she has great material, but just another one of those big moment battles where the choking kind of got the better of her. And for that, pretty simple reason why I have her at the runner-up on the disappointing list. And then that just leaves number 1, and at number 1, the most disappointing performer of the night. Not someone who was fully bad, but can't believe I'm saying this. We got to talk about Hitman Holla. A guy that, to me, is one of the top 3 battle rappers of all time. I have so much respect for Hitman. I've said that I think he's probably the most winningest top tier of all time for anyone with like 20, 25 plus battles versus top tier comp. And to have the record he has and the few losses he had taken, Surf, highest viewed battle in URL, Extreme Impact Classic battle, Verb, extremely classic battle, you know what I'm saying, where you can really debate he won the first 2 rounds for real, but I know a lot of people consider that, you know what I'm saying, a Verb win. So I'm like, even with Hitman, and then the Cat losses, but even with Hitman loses, you know what I'm saying, it's still high quality, and I can say with confidence that I believe this is the worst Hitman loss of his career, more than anything due to like margin of loss. I think the first round is close, but I don't know how debatable it is, man. I think Hitman was great throughout the first. Some of my notes here for him, he rapped forever in the first, but he thought he was a boss and he could just come and battle till Beasley called and said, bullshit. That was fire. The flow patterns here was fire. They can make a best of Hitman on YouTube for 24 hours. I think this was a good mix of the writing, even though we started a little slow, of the performance, of the legacy talk without being too hard on the money talk. But even then, Easy was incredible in his first. Not even to talk too much about Easy because we have a lot to talk about Easy here in a minute. But as you get into the second and the third, even though the stream dropped, was able to watch it back. Avo re-aired it. And the second round, just angles that aren't hitting for the most part. The Hurricane do stuff definitely hit a little bit, but for the most part, he goes into the money bag. I make more money than you. People just aren't trying to hear that from Hitman in this battle. When you go up against Easy, it just looks like you're really going to have to rap. You're not going to aura or outbuilding him. You are going to have to rap with him. And even though Hitman was good in the first, he was clearly rattled for the rest of the battle. The hate don't look good on cam. I'm not gonna lie, Hitman, I was watching on camera, and Easy was looking pretty good. There's nothing that's gonna make me think different. I think Hitman is obviously a legend of the highest caliber, a god tier level opponent, but I just think Easy has been doing things to these OGs and these god tier level guys, and especially in that second and third. Nothing to talk about. You're seeing the master of crowd control lose his composure. And it just goes to show how crazy of a win it is. And by margin, like I said, I don't think I've ever seen Hitman really get handled like that. And for that, although he had a good first, I have to have Hitman as the shockingly most disappointing performer of the night. And with all that wrapped up, a lot of that talking about the disappointing side, we can now get into the top three, my picks for the top three most impressive performers from Chrome 23. And as for the most impressive, at number 3, someone like many of these battles we talked about the flip side for already, we are going to talk about C3 winning the first all-ladies tournament. Congrats to C3. Definitely has earned it. One of the best top tiers in terms of work rate and just consistently battling, always being outside for the ladies. And she really almost looked unchallenged this entire tournament. What she did to 40, exceptional. Obviously, the chain of battle doesn't go down. She kind of cruises through Cheddar, in my opinion, and then you get here and she catches a clear 30, big stage, great performance at that, mixing the comedy, the freestyles, the straight punches, the haymaker about I couldn't kill myself, these bitches couldn't kill me, neither could I. And just since I already talked about it from the caution side, I just think it's a real simple one to call. Definitely one of those humongous legacy type of battles that the legacy type of accolades that she gets, not necessarily battle. Big stage at that. I could just go on and on, but I just really want to congratulate C3 on the great run, and especially winning a tournament of that magnitude. Her or Hustle could have took this third spot, but winning the 25K is just what edges it for me and puts her at 3. And then you get into the top 2 performers of the night. These are absolutely nuclear performances for 2 different reasons. And at the number 2 spot, someone who material-wise probably is number 1, but I would say, beating the opponent they beat doesn't measure up to what number 1 did in terms of this scenario. But at number 2, very respectfully, I do have A-Ward. Jesus Christ, man. From I knew A-Ward was going to have a good bounce-back performance. I just think A-Ward is too good of a battler to just take, multiple clear losses in a row. And I said if he had a problem with Vixen, he might have a puncher problem. That man does not have a puncher problem, let me tell you that. Even from his first round when he opens, incredible. If it's not 10 out of 10, it's a 9 out of 10 round. Surprised that he used the biracial angle so much. Didn't expect, if it would go over with a white guy using the half white angle. But the verb beat white people. I guess I have to. Crazy. The Assassin, even that name is mostly ass. Your Black History Month ended on the 14th, which is insane. I didn't even know he was going to get that over in that room. The OJ Haymaker, the eat off the app, eat off the Andre Haymaker. Forget chess. You really do the shapeshift insanity, right? So he wins the first. Vixen has a good first. Vixen, as you see, doesn't make either list. Poor Vixen, man. Last 2 battles, you get one of the best jazzes ever in New York. You get one of the best A-Wards ever in New York. And she's good. Her first is good. Steve Harvey, you called out the wrong bitch for the card. Like that. Strangle him. It looks like pottery class. The GameStop stuff. But it just wasn't enough. And then his second is better than his first. I don't really know what you're supposed to do about that, Vixen. Got a feel for you. The corset bar is crazy. The 3 and a possible is crazy. The whole, you know what I'm saying? The pregnancy scheme was crazy. But when he gets to the whole career graded by a curve, the Crown Vic flow and the A verb call out is done. It's done. Vixen once again has a good second, even a better second than her first, but it's 2-0, clear as Caribbean water going into the third. And the third, probably the lightest of the battle, but still have Ward cleaning it up pretty easily. 30 for Ward, probably in the body baggage territory, and it was a good Vixen, which is just tough, similar to the Jazz and Vixen battle, in my opinion. And he called out Verb. I think he kind of squashed Verb the way he's rapping right now, but obviously Verb is that legacy type of plate. Can't praise him enough, man, for this performance. Possibly the best A-Ward performance of his career to this point. For that, I do have A-Ward as the second best performer of the night. And then lastly, kind of longer here, trying to explain both sides of this, I feel like, to my normal recap videos, but it was a historic night. And at the number one spot, which you probably could have guessed by now, Easy the Block Captain is in the middle of the greatest winning streak we have ever seen in battle rap history. That's really how I feel about it at this point. Post UM1, because obviously he's the judge loss to Fonz, even though some people think it's debatable, but it's not debatable. It's a judge loss, right? Still a great battle. Goes on from there, and just Cortez, Danny, T-Top, Rex, Shine, Goods, Cal, Verb, Hitman, man. And on top of that, some of these are great clear wins. Like, he clears Cal out of the way, right? He clears Shine, even though that they're good in that battle. I believe both of them, you could argue, got the first in those battles. But even when he battles someone way under him, like a Rex or a Big T, he's covering the spread. They are 30s, in my opinion, specifically the Big T battle. Verb, the one guy that's matched him is Chess. And that's one of the best battles ever. To me, it's probably the best Summer Madness battle, just quality-wise, in my opinion, of all time. So I don't know what you do with this guy at this point, man. And you look at the first round, Hitman's first is as good as Hitman. Really, I mean, it's a Hitman first. It's explosive. From the sweet potato pie haymaker to open it up. The 2B, none of my shooters like 2B, that none of them know how to act. To learn to read again, eating alphabet soup. And I was like, man, he's doing good, but I don't got him winning the round yet. And then he gets the basketball scheme, rebound off the glass, double-double, over. So I got Hitman edging, I got Easy edging the first, and just goes on to clear Hitman in the second and the third. And these guys just can't rap with him, man. It looks like, especially the cinnamon in the second round, how your wifey take a headshot, but you ain't, how she take a headshot for you, but you ain't married her yet. It's a lot. I don't think that you could overpraise what Easy's doing. It's literally greatest of all time level trajectory. He's battle raps Patrick Mahomes right now. He's looking like, you know what I'm saying, like Bron from 05 to 08. He's just incredible, dude. His angling is top-notch. He's one of the best anglers in the world. He's one of the best crowd control and just performers in the world. His writing is that of a B+, A-, you know what I'm saying, variety at the least. He does it all at the highest level. Nobody really is 30'd Hitman. And now we can talk about a guy that potentially just 30'd Hitman. It's an incredible performance in terms of the moment that it is, the opponent that it is, what was riding on the battle. Everything about it is just incredible. You could very easily, in terms of Easy and Rum Nitty, these guys to me are rapping just the best in the world. Just purely off the rapping, not the based off a case or anything. I think these two are the best battle rappers in the world, and you could really argue, due to just the more variety in his bag, that Easy is currently the best battle rapper on the face of the earth. Like I said, can't overpraise him enough, man. And for me, he was clearly the standout, most impressive performance from the Chrome 23 anniversary card. And that will do it for my full recap of Chrome. You guys let me know what you think in the comments for those of you that watched it. Do you think that I'm being a little hyperbolic, when I speak on Easy more than anything? I think the Ward, two things I'm going to be rewatching multiple times over the next few weeks. Ward's rounds for Vixen and Easy's rounds for Hitman. Maybe that's a good battle. Ward and Easy too. Does Ward have a shot? I don't really know you set up, man. But there's so many other things to take from this card, too. How you guys feel about the start of Hustle's year. How you feel about Brastavia bouncing back with what many are going to consider a clear win over Official. Love to hear your guys' thoughts down below. Good event. Obviously the pay-per-view dropping. I'm not saying that it's acceptable, but all of rap could drop. This is not Chrome just messing up this and that. I think that the server just got blitzed by two absolutely historic events going on side to side, and I think it was just a lot. You know what I'm saying? Battle rap pay-per-views are never 100% crisp on any league. But gonna have a lot of rewatching to do. Missed some King of the Dot Day 1 stuff, so I'm gonna have to. I woke up early this morning to rewatch to watch some of the Chrome stuff that I may have missed, and then turn around. I'm gonna have a lot of King of the Dot work to do to get ready for that recap. But like I said, probably 8 out of 10 event to me. In the building probably was even more than that. Incredible, and I'd love to hear below what you guys think and who your best performer of the night was. But it's been J Smo Reviews again, y'all. Keep an eye out for the recap articles on Let's Talk Battle Rap for these events. And keep an eye out for just any recap videos I have coming up for this weekend over the next few days. And I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.